Hello friends, we are starting module 2, which is a non-detailed study section of from early English literature to 18th century. So we are on the starting point of module 2, starting with Beowulf. Beowulf is the oldest epic during the 17th century AD. It is included in Novel Codex. It has 3,182 lines. It's a story of the Geatish hero Beowulf. So it has two parts. The first part, Beowulf kills the monster Grendel and also kills his mother. And the second part, Beowulf, now he's a king of Gates, gets wounded when fighting with a dragon. So that's all about Beowulf. Next, move on to ballads. The ballads we have in our syllabus are Sir Patrick Spens and Chevy case. So, Sir Patrick Spens is one of the most popular of the child ballads, number 58, and is of Scottish origin. It is a maritime ballad about a disaster at sea. The ballad deals with the Scottish expedition which should have brought the Maid of Norway to Scotland in 1285 and the wreck of Sir Patrick's ship at Aberdeen. Now, moving on to Chevy case, the ballad tells us of the border clashes between England and Scotland. The fight continues for 30 days, in which the heroes Percy and Douglas are killed. The Ballad of Chevy Case is an English ballad catalogued as Child Ballad 162. The ballad tells the story of a large hunting party upon a parcel of hunting land or case in the Cheviot Hills. Hence the term Chevy case. The hunt is led by Percy, the English Earl of Northumberland. The Scottish Earl Douglas had forbidden this hunt and interpreted it as an invasion of Scotland. In response, he attacked, causing a bloody battle after which only 110 people survived. The general prologue to the Canterbury Tales describes a meeting of 29 pilgrims in the Tabardin at Southwark. 31 pilgrims, including poet and Harry Bailey, the innkeeper. The host proposes that the pilgrim should shorten the road by telling 4 stories each, 2 on the way to the Canterbury and 2 on the way back. He will award a free supper on their return to the teller of the best story. The work is incomplete. So, it is only the prologue of the Canterbury Tales there in our syllabus. So, we only need to focus on the main features of the characters that are described. Characters, I mean pilgrims, that are described in the prologue. They are knight, squire, prioress, monk, friar, pardoner, summoner, parson, clerk of Oxford, merchant, sergeant of law, franklin, 5 guildsmen, the wife of Bath, physician, the reeve, shipman, yeoman, manciple, miller, ploughman, cook, the host, and Chaucer himself. Thomas Kyd's The Spanish Tragedy, or Hieronymo is Mad Again, was published in 1592. It is known as the first proper English revenge tragedy. So the story revolves around the characters Balthazar, Andrea, Lorenzo, Horatio, Bellambiria, Hieronymo, Isabella, and Viceroy of Portugal, Duke of Castle, etc. There is a play within the play, Solomon and Persida. Spenser's poem Epithalamion is about Spenser's own marriage with Elizabeth Boyle. Spenser meticulously records the hours of the day from before dawn till late into the wedding night. It consists of 365 long lines corresponding to the days in a year. The term epithalamion derives from Greek and means literally before the bridal chamber, including lyrics praising marriage and actual descriptions of marriage. Andrew Marvell's To His Coy Mistress is a poem spoken by a male lover to his female beloved as an attempt to convince her to sleep with him. The expression of carpe diem is there in this poem, and it is one of the finest and most passionate love songs. So the poem is an invitation to an unwilling maiden for active participation in love. He points out the urgency to fulfill their love. Sir Thomas More's Utopia was published in Latin in 1516 and translated by Ralph Robinson to English in 1551. So the work is divided into two parts. The first records a conversation between Thomas More and Raphael Hitlerday. The second is Hitlerday's discourse on the institutions and practices of Utopia. So it is basically a comparison between the utopian society and England. According to Hitlerday, utopian society is superior to any other in Europe, and he does admit that he would like to see some aspects of utopian society put in practice in England, though he does not believe any such thing will happen. So you might have noticed in the syllabus that the next topic is Henry Fielding Pamela. So we don't know, is it Pamela or Henry Fielding's Tom Jones. So we are considering both of them, okay. So Pamela is written by Samuel Richardson. Pamela or Virtue Rewarded, published on 1740. And it tells a story of a beautiful 15-year-old maidservant named Pamela Andrews and the country landowner Mr. B, who makes unwanted advances towards her after the death of his mother. So after attempting unsuccessfully to seduce and rape her, her virtue is eventually rewarded when he sincerely proposes an equitable marriage to her. The next is Henry Fielding's Tom Jones. The novel is based on Tom's separation from his foster father, Squire Alworthy, and his lady love, Sophia Weston, and his reconciliation with them after the dangerous adventures on the way to and in London. The journey of Tom to London is a miniature of European grand tour, which was an essential part of education. It is considered as Fielding's masterpiece. So we have finally reached the finishing line of module 2. That is, the last topic is Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe. The full title is The Life and Strange Surprising Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. So the source is the experience of Sir Alexander Selkirk, who lived in an island alone for 4 years after shipwreck. So as told in a cruising voyage round the world by Wooder Rogers. So the central characters are Crusoe, Zuri, Captain, Friday, Friday's father, cannibals, etc.